Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, back to another exciting episode of the Real Film Nerds Podcast. So, for those of you who have not been paying attention, we have gotten some awesome listener feedback recently, and I tell horrible-ass jokes, and we talk about booze way too freaking much. So, on that note, Mike, do we talk about booze way too much?
I don't think we do. I think we're just, trying to lighten the mood.
I think you're an alcoholic, I'm a drunk, and we like to drink our beers. And if you don't like it, you can turn off the pod, it's fine. Or you can just skip the part where we talk about what beer we're drinking, because specifically we usually just drink beer. So if you're not a beer person, that's fine. Just skip ahead. So, anyways, I am Matt. I am your host without anything. I'm exhausted. I had a long Sunday for the Rattlers home opener. They freaking destroyed the other team. It wasn't even much of a competition. The final score was, 81-27 or something? It was insane.
81? That is ridiculous.
Lots and lots of touchdowns. Even for indoor football, a.k.a. arena football, that is a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, wow. Okay. It must have been kind of boring, Everything was just too easy.
No, it was not. Opening day is brutal, dude. It's long, and it's just, there's a lot to do. The game is, important, but it's not as important as all the other stuff I got to do because of it being opening day. So, anywho, well, not opening day, home opener. Opening day is technically a baseball term, and I'm not a sports person, but I want to make sure and differentiate. Home opener. The Rattlers home opener. So anyways, we're 2-0. We're kicking some ass, taking some names. And Mike, speaking of taking names, what are you drinking today?
Oh, man, dude, that was a good segue. I am drinking, it's called Extra Dry Brut India Pale Ale, or IPA, from Anderson Valley.
Wow, what a surprise. Mike is drinking another IPA.
Yes, shocking. Matt, what are you drinking over there?
Dude, I'm drinking, I have it, a handful of them still left in the fridge. I've already named this beer on here before. Mike, it was Hecho in America, and that is El Sully by 21st Amendment Brewery out of, I think, San Francisco Bay Area, somewhere up there in Northern California. And it is a delightful Mexican-style beer. I enjoy it very much.
Awesome, man. So with that, do we want to start into the review of the movie that you're super excited to talk about? For the second time.
Yeah. I love it. I love this movie so much. I now want to talk about it for the second time because Mike, Mr. Computer over there, has the world's worst computer ever. Why? I don't know. I would think it would be integral, but I can't survive without my computers.
Yeah, so Mike Talent was slacking on his talent. And
well, I don't know if that was so much talent. It's more you're slacking on buying things. Is it because you're spending way too much on IPAs that you can't go out and get a $60 hard drive?
Yes, it is because I spend about $12 per IPA. So
really,
it's really just like 5 of them, right?
Are you serious? You spend $12 for an IPA?
No, dude, I'm kidding.
Okay, I was gonna say that's brutal, man.
No, what do you think this is? California?
Oh, there you go. That's for all of our California listeners. We actually, the second most listened to state in the 50 is California behind Arizona. Arizona is leading the way. California is a close second.
Nice.
And we have been downloaded at least once in almost every single 50 state except for 4.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I don't remember the other ones, but I can name a handful of them. Nevada, Wyoming, and Mississippi, and I'm not sure the fourth one. I think it's like Delaware, maybe?
Matt, have you been driving around the country and downloading the podcast?
Hell yeah, dude. I've been hitting up those Starbucks and McDonald's hotspots.
Nice.
But no, that's it. Alaska hasn't gotten us. That's the other one.
Man. All right. Well, I guess we're going to have to start advertising in Alaska.
Well, dude, we don't advertise now, so what help will that do?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so, Mike, I, Hal Jordan, do solemnly swear to pledge allegiance to a lantern that I got from a dying purple alien in a swamp.
So, if anybody doesn't recognize that, it's for good reason. No one should know that. This is from the movie Green Lantern. And this movie...
I'm glad I'm not the only one with really bad jokes, Mike. Bring it on, brother. Bring it on. We're going to go down in flames together.
Yeah. All right. So this is directed by Martin Campbell. And its writers are Greg Berlanti, Michael Green, Mark Guggenheim, and Michael Goldenberg. This is starring Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, Peter Skarsgård, Mark Strong, Tim Robbins, God, man.
I got you. I know you're still stumbling. You just got to stop thinking about what the sounds are of the letters. It's Taika Waititi.
Okay, Taika Waititi.
There you go.
Why? It's the first name. I can do the Waititi. That seems okay. But man, anyway. Sorry, guys. All right. So this movie is about a reckless test pilot, Hal Jordan, is granted an alien ring that bestows him with otherworldly powers that inducts him into an intergalactic police force, the Green Lantern Corps.
All right, then. So this movie was shit. You shouldn't go watch it. End of the podcast. Everyone have a good night.
Yeah. I mean, we could do that. We could skip just to the ratings. Well, maybe throw in a little MCU tie-in real quick, and bada bing, bada boom.
What are we? You one of the good fellas now, Mike?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So, honest opinion, Mike. I know you like this movie better than you thought you were going to like it on its second viewing, because that's what you said when we recorded this the first time on Saturday.
Yes, I actually did like this a little bit better. It's bad. It's definitely bad. There's lots of things that aren't great about it, but it wasn't as bad as some of the other movies I've seen, if that makes sense.
All right, well, I'm trying to remember what I said and brought up about it. I'm not a fan of this movie whatsoever. It's not very good. The story of Green Lantern is good. One of the biggest issues that I have, and I do remember talking about this a little bit, is if you have to sit down and do a voiceover for the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie, it's not going to be a good movie. It just isn't. If you have to explain that much to get your viewers up to speed, you might as well just not make it.
Yeah, no, you're right. One of the other things that kind of made me sad about this movie a little bit was Michael Clark Duncan voiced one of the characters. Was it one of the Green Lanterns? And it was good to hear his voice, but it was also sad because I think he passed away about a year after this movie was released.
Now, don't get me wrong. The story of Green Lantern, I think, is good. I just think that the people that wrote the script just dropped the ball. I mean, there's lots of really good stories out there of Green Lantern and all the different Lantern Corps, because green is the most well-known color of the Lantern Corps world, but there's a lot more to it, and they actually alluded to a sequel, which never happened, at the end of this movie with Sinestro finally putting on the yellow ring, which he forms the yellow Lantern Corps, which is actually like the evil lanterns. I don't know a whole lot about the DC world. After doing some research for this review, I'm definitely a heck of a lot more interested in learning more about the lanterns, because some of the different lanterns are just insane. Like, they have like these black lanterns, which they basically raise the dead. I'm like, that's insane. That would be cool.
That sounds pretty cool. So there's yellow, there's green, there's black. Do you know any of the other colors?
I'm probably going to screw it up, but I'm going to do them all anyways that I can remember. Okay, so we got the green, we got yellow, we got black, we have white. White is, so every single color basically has the exact opposite. So the opposite of the black is the white, and the white is like super ultra good. Like, the Green Lanterns are, good to a level, but like the white is like the crazy super pure good lanterns. And then
okay, so like the angels of the
kind of
lantern corps.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know if there's so much angels, but they're the opposite. They're like they're nothing but good. Like, they're not like, there's no gray in them whatsoever kind of thing. Then there's like there's a purple, and I think there's a red, there's an orange, and the orange is literally like one person, and it's a dude that doesn't want to share the power, and he has some crazy ass slogans. They all have their own oaths and everything, which is really kind of neat and cool. But researching this and watching a few videos and reading some stuff on it, I really kind of want to dive more into the Lantern world, just because I know how integral it is. I mean, when you think DC, at least I do, being a Marvel guy, when I think DC, Superman's at the tippy top, Batman is number 2, Wonder Woman is number 3, and Hal Jordan's Green Lantern is number 4. That's how important the Green Lanterns are in my world, that they're up there towards the tippy top of the DC Universe characters. So,
wow.
I'd like to see them remake Green Lantern, bring it into the current DC EU world, get someone that's not trying to be Deadpool before Deadpool existed as Hal Jordan. So, and I think it'd be a lot better. I would go and watch that movie if they followed the vein of Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. That sounds good.
I know you liked both those movies.
I did. I really liked Aquaman quite a bit. It was surprising how much I liked Aquaman. I was not sure what they were going to do or anything, but I liked everything. I pretty much liked the movie from start to end. So that's a really good job, and it's a long movie, and it was just a lot of fun. Wonder Woman was really good, well done as well. And I think they're finally getting their feet underneath them, and they're kind of figuring out what they're going to show for the DC universe. And Matt, like you were saying, they've got to stop trying to be Marvel and be DC.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying in our first recording. Yeah, when they decided to stop being Marvel and just go off on their own, I feel that started with Wonder Woman and is continuing with Aquaman. They put out Justice League because they wanted to try and compete with Avengers. It failed miserably. They tried to do Batman versus Superman, and it failed. I mean, it was, in my opinion, it's the worst. It's the worst out of all of them. Like, I can't stand Batman versus Superman. It was just so bad. They tried to do way too much in it. There's shit that just doesn't make sense. They mashed like 3 or 4 really big storylines into one movie. It was just blah. I'd like DC to say, okay, we're starting over. Wonder Woman is the start. Aquaman is the second one. Let's redo. Maybe not so much Superman and Batman. I mean, maybe just because they need to reintroduce it, but get it going and then redo Justice League properly. Have a really good Justice League film with a villain that people care about. I would be all in for that. Even though I'm not much of a DC guy, I still am a comic book guy. Always have been, always will be. I would love to go see some of those movies.
Yeah, man. No, that I think they're finally getting it together. So it's good to see that. And Matt, what did you think of Suicide Squad? That's DC, right?
Yeah, Suicide Squad is tough. There was redeeming moments in Suicide Squad, but they are making a sequel. James Gunn is doing it. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It's not my favorite, but it's not my least favorite either. Margot Robbie, I think, just did an amazing job as Harley Quinn. Will Smith was okay, but he wasn't really Will Smith. I mean, he wasn't really... Sorry, scratch that backwards. He wasn't really Deadshot.
Yeah.
He was Will Smith playing Deadshot. It wasn't Deadshot. It had potential. The one character that did surprise me a lot, and I might get slammed for it, but who cares? Go ahead, send us your hate. We can take it. I really liked Diablo. Diablo was a really cool character in that movie. I really liked him, and how he was played was excellent.
Nice, man. No, that's cool. I think that was a pretty cool character. I know everybody was all over Harley Quinn stuff, but when you got Margot Robbie like strutting around,
Dude, but it's not just her looks or anything. I mean, she nailed the crazy of Harley Quinn. She nailed it.
Nice.
So, the biggest letdown, though, of that whole freaking movie was that Joker. And I'm not going to put it on Jared Leto. Jared Leto is a very good actor. It's what they made that Joker to be. And Joker is not a gangster. Joker is a sociopath. He is a nut job. He is 100% crazy. He is what Heath Ledger did. He is just crazy for being crazy. He's one of those people that wants to see the world burn. He doesn't have a motive. And that is not what they wrote in Suicide Squad whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that kind of is his motive. He just wants to see the world burn.
Yeah, but he's not, I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, no, he doesn't, he's not going to Yeah.
He doesn't want money. He doesn't want to kill the most people he can kill. He's just all about chaos. And the one motive he does have is Batman. But other than that, he really doesn't have much. He's just pure chaos. He's, the embodiment of anarchy almost. So, anyways... I would like to see them redo this. I'm not going to say this movie is great or even mediocre. It was rough. There's parts that I liked. There's not many of them. Ryan Reynolds being too jokey didn't work with Hal Jordan. I touched on that a little bit earlier. But you definitely can see the makings of Deadpool coming out of Ryan Reynolds in this role. That's for sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of conflict with the director and Ryan Reynolds on this movie. Was it Martin
Campbell?
Martin Campbell and Ryan Reynolds. Because originally, Martin Campbell wanted to cast Bradley Cooper and thought he was getting Bradley Cooper, but the studio decided to change it to Ryan Reynolds, and that really just didn't work well. So Martin Campbell and Ryan Reynolds were at odds really from the get-go, and it kind of comes across in the screen that, he's just there. He didn't seem like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like things are gelling very well.
He's just collecting a paycheck.
Yeah. He was collecting a paycheck. He did meet his future wife. I'm not sure if they're still married, but Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds.
What, you don't read Us Weekly, Mike?
No, I don't think anybody does.
No, I don't read it. Even in the grocery store, I'd rather, drool over the candy bars than read the tabloids, but that's, I'm a fat kid. Yeah. What can I say?
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's, I don't know. This movie, the CGI, there are aspects of the movie that were pretty cool, like you were alluding to a little bit earlier, and I really liked the origin story and kind of the training of Hal Jordan when he first gets the ring, but then it kind of goes off the rails with the mad scientist stuff and all this other stuff. So,
well, they just stop. He's doing a little bit of training, and then Sinestro steps in, and then it just stops. They don't go back to it. It's just they should have had more of that. They should have had more of him learning how to use his powers and learning how to build the constructs and things like that. That would have been a lot better. but whatever.
Yeah. So, Matt, before we get into too many more spoilers, do you want to...
Well, I was going to ask you, but you go ahead. You can ask yourself.
No. Go for it. Don't screw up the formula. I did, but you don't.
Oh, damn it. We have a formula now? Are you writing this down?
No, I don't write down things. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, speaking of formulas, Mike, how does the incredible 2011 film Green Lantern relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, thanks for asking, Matt. It's Taika Waititi's character in this movie is Tom Kalmakal, and he's also the director of Thor Ragnarok and the voice of Korg. And so this one was pretty easy to relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Matt, you were saying on the last time we did this podcast that he learned a lot from Green Lantern and made sure that when he made Thor or any movies after that, it wasn't going to be like this.
Yeah, he was quoted during the filming of Thor Ragnarok when people were talking about it. He said, Green Lantern, this is paraphrasing, I don't know off the top of my head, FYI. I learned a lot from Green Lantern, especially what not to do in a superhero movie, is basically what he said.
Nice. Yeah, I really like Thor Ragnarok, and I also like this movie that he made. It's called What We Do in the Shadows, and it's kind of like a mockumentary about vampires, and it's just hilarious. I highly recommend anybody watch that. And I believe it is on Amazon Prime right now for free. So,
what's the there's one that he's doing that I really want to see that's probably going to be extremely controversial just based on the title of the film. Oh, I don't remember. Isn't it something to do with Hitler?
Oh, stand by.
Yeah. Jojo Rabbit. It's in post-production right now. It's
Jojo Rabbit, huh?
Yeah, and he plays the part of Hitler. He's the director, and he plays the part of Hitler. He also did the screenplay. And a young boy in Hitler's army finds out his mother is hiding a Jewish boy in their home.
Wow.
So I'm interested to see it. Here's more of the storyline for those of you who are interested and haven't turned off our podcast yet. A World War II satire about a 10-year-old boy who, ridiculed by his peers and misunderstood by his mother, can't quite figure out how to fit in. As the naive young German struggles to understand his place in an increasingly fascist regime, he resorts to an imaginary friend, to be played by Taika, who can offer advice and help him cope.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, Scarlett Johansson's in this.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's one that I don't know if it'll get a big release, but it also has Sam Rockwell and Rebel Wilson.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big cast.
Stephen Merchant. It's some big names there. So anyways, we'll see that one down the road. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention this on our actual first recording of Green Lantern. This is now Green Lantern version 2. A movie that was shot, filmed, based in Prescott, got a release date. I don't remember the release date. It's, I believe, June, maybe June 7th. It's called Wishman. It is based on the life and finding of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, my buddy Frank Schenkowitz. And it was all filmed here. It's based on his novel that he wrote of him, you know, creating the Make-A-Wish Foundation in, I think it was the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, Make-A-Wish is originated in Prescott, Arizona?
I think technically Cottonwood. Frank worked in the Verde Valley, but he lived over here in Prescott. But just not to go off too long, I mean, he's told me the story before, just real quick. But basically, there was a young kid dying of, I'm not sure if it was terminal cancer or something. And Frank was a highway patrolman, DPS officer, as they're known in Arizona now. And the kid, his dream was to be a police officer, specifically a motorcycle cop. And so Frank gets the kid and he lets him be a police officer for the day. They got him a little toy motorcycle. They took him around in the cars. They did just, you name it. That's what they did. And that was the start of the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh, man, that's pretty cool.
Yep. So that, I don't know if they're going to have a special screening here in Prescott, but I do believe it is going to be hopefully a nationwide release. I'm not sure if it's an independent or not, but I know it is slated to be released. It has not some big stars, but it does have names most Hollywood people or people that go to the movies would pay attention to. But, I was congratulating Frank the other day on our Facebook page because they officially have a release date, and it's in June. I think it's June, either June or July. So,
oh, yeah, man. Well, you're going to have to review that if it's not a wide release.
Yeah,
because you will get that there, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. We will have it here for sure. It might have to become a solo cast. What might be really fun is if I could get Frank on here, but I don't know. Frank has been super, 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 super busy going around the country. He's super busy as it is without doing the movie stuff. He's been going around the country. He speaks at a lot of engagements and a lot of things like that. Make-A-Wish is international. He goes places to help out other Make-A-Wish foundations and things. It's actually headquartered in Phoenix. He has a division here in Prescott, but his headquarters and stuff are in Phoenix. But he lives here, locally.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully it'll be national and you and I can talk about it. But that would be really kind of neat if I could get Frank on here. But I don't know. I'm not sure if he would do it or not. I mean,
yeah, no. You can try.
He's actually a very humble guy. He really is.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's a really cool story. I didn't know about that.
So, all right, Mike. Well, we are now to the spoiler section. I don't know how much we really need to talk about spoilers. We've spoiled enough. Basically, neither of us think you should watch this movie. It's not great. I mean, it's okay. If you want to see how far we've come, it's a good thing to watch. One of my biggest problems with this movie is the scene with the helicopter, man.
Yeah, you really hated that scene. I mean, it's not good.
No, it's awful. Not good is being nice, Mike. I mean,
all right. I'm too nice to it.
You are. Instead of using something smart like a parachute or using like a construct to make this crashing helicopter land, or a parachute or a glider or something to get it away from the people, he makes a Hot Wheels track that carries the stupid freaking helicopter around on a Hot Wheels track over the crowd. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. You're right. That's just that's really, really weird. That's really, really weird. And it was like, hey, special effects guys, what do you got that you've already made that you were playing with? They're like, I got this Hot Wheels track, and they're like, yes, that. Thank you.
Maybe it's leftover CGI from the Hot Wheels movie that never happened.
Yeah, it could be.
And they're just
very well could be.
They're just like, we'll throw this in. This will look good. I mean, seriously, think about it. Hal Jordan has a ring on his finger that literally lets him construct anything he can imagine. And he creates a Hot Wheel track for a helicopter.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, even in the training session, there's this part where he constructs a brick wall. I'm like, really? A brick wall?
Yeah, I mean, and that's one I don't get too. Like, he could sit there and concentrate and create anything from any universe that's out there. Star Wars, anything. Granted, you're not going to see stuff from Star Wars, but let's say a lightsaber or a laser gun or something. No, he sits down and he creates like regular guns and cars and just, it's like, man, dude, you have zero imagination, or the CGI budget was just shit on this. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just the story, like we've said too many times. It was just, this story's not that great. And
well, that's always the start, man, for me. Like, the production can be shitty. I've said it over and over. Same thing. But, the production can be shitty. The acting can be questionable. But if the story isn't there, man, I'm going to give it a bad score.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, me too. But you really don't like this movie, Matt.
No.
So,
well, and the villains, man, it's one of the worst villains I've ever seen. Like, ever seen.
Yeah, no, the villain's really dumb. He's really dumb. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. And when I was watching it, I was like, oh, come on, man, just go get him. Or like, this is so dumb.
Oh, and then another one that really bothers the shit out of me is how freaking Ryan Reynolds' eyeballs turn white. It's like, maybe that's a Green Lantern thing. I don't know, but it's freaky as hell.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is.
It's just wasted CGI, too.
Yep.
So, I don't know, man. And then they, instead of making like an actual physical suit, they did a CGI suit too. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was really, really dumb. Especially, they could have made a suit, and I feel like it would have looked better than the CGI suit.
Well, not to, go with our bread and butter, but look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, man. 90% of those suits are, realistic. They have tweaks in them through the CGI world, but they're real suits. The suit that Tom Holland wears in Spider-Man, he's wearing that shit. They might be augmenting him to make him look more muscular and things like that, but he's wearing a leotard,
Yeah. Yeah.
Had to finish my beer. Sorry.
No.
That's bad. That's what's known as bad pod, Mike. That's bad pod. It's dead air. You don't want that. You got to start talking here, buddy. I know you're falling asleep.
Right.
I know you're falling asleep.
Right.
You need another, IPA, but we can get through this.
All right. So let's wrap it up then, Matt. What would you rate Green Lantern?
Wrap it up. Is that what she said?
Maybe.
All right, Mike. So you really want me to go first, even though you know my rating already?
Yeah. Well, you know my rating too.
I know your rating. I have it written down. Anyways.
Yeah, I want you to go first.
All right, fine. This movie was crap. I give it 1 reel. Not reels, real, singular.
Nice.
No, it's not nice. I'm mean, and I like Ryan Reynolds. He's a decent actor. He's a funny dude. He is the embodiment of Deadpool, but this movie is garbage.
Yeah, no, this movie is bad. So, unlike my co-host there, Matt, I give it 2 reels out of 5. It's garbage, but to me it's mildly entertaining, and I don't know, maybe I've just seen way too many bad movies in my life to make this one not seem as bad.
I don't know, dude. I would rather go and watch the horrible representation of Deadpool and X-Men Origins Wolverine than this movie.
Ooh, man, that's bad. How about Fantastic Four? How do you rate that?
Which one?
The first one. Well, both of them are terrible, but the first one.
The first one with the dude from The Shield?
Yeah, the one with the dude from The Shield. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I should rate it because someday we might have to rate
Captain America.
Yeah, he was in that. Yeah. But I don't know if I should rate it because we might review it one day. But I would say that's better than Green Lantern.
Wow. Okay.
They butchered the hell out of the Fantastic Four, which is another one I'd like to see come into the Marvel Cinematic Universe now that Fox is owned by Disney.
Yeah, it's not quite. They got held up in the deal in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
But it's projected to happen by mid 2019.
Well, I think that's probably one of the very first things they're going to do is they're going to definitely start introducing the X-Men, and they're definitely going to introduce the Fantastic Four, because the Fantastic Four is such a major, major part of the Marvel universe, let alone cinematic universe. So they got to make the two align. Yeah,
and I guess Phoenix comes out, right? Dark Phoenix or whatever comes out soon, or is it just called Phoenix? The new X-Men movie?
Yeah, I think it's X-Men Dark Phoenix, which, why are they telling the Dark Phoenix saga again? I don't know. And they're probably going to screw it up, and it's going to be really bad, but hopefully not. I don't know. The trailers look okay. They're not incredible, they're not amazing, but they look okay.
Yeah. No, it looks okay.
But the original Dark Phoenix saga has a lot going on in the cosmic world. So, and there's not a whole lot of cosmic world in the movie, so I'm not sure. They're probably going to do like the Dark Phoenix that they did in the original X-Men movies, the X-Men 3. That was basically kind of their take on the Dark Phoenix saga. They're probably going to do that, which will piss a lot of hardcore fans off. So
yeah, it'll be great.
So, all right, Mike, well, what movie did you pick for us to talk about on Thursday that we have not reviewed yet? So that will hopefully be version 1 of the recording.
I picked The Lost City of Z, starring Charlie Hunnam. And, it was an interesting movie, and we will talk more about it on the next pod on Thursday.
Sweet. Well, and then next week, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I had to figure it out. Or is it this week? It's this week. It's this week. It's not Saturday. It's this week. Captain Marvel comes out this week. Woo!
Yeah, dude. You need to watch it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I want to try to go Thursday. I want to go opening night, but I think I'm going to go to the latest show I can find.
Yeah, so in Prescott, what's that, like 9:30?
No, they'll usually do a 10.
Dude, are you sure?
So I'll try and hit a 10.
Okay.
You know, you really want to go there, Mike. I will sacrifice our perfect audio and type in my local movie theater.
No, don't do it.
All right,
no,
all right.
No.
All right. Well, on that note, Mike, I don't have anything else other than Lost City of Z, Captain Marvel. I'm stoked. I don't know if it's my most anticipated MCU movie of this year, but it's up there for sure.
Yeah. No, I want to see it. I want to see the flashback to the 90s. It'll give me a lot of little nostalgia. I mean, her crashing into Blockbuster was just perfect.
Well, it's not a flashback to the 90s, Mike.
I know.
Movie takes 100% place in the 90s.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm excited about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm excited about that part. Now, I know you like Brie Larson, but I personally am not a huge fan of her as an actress. So I'm not too excited about that. But if she does a good job as Captain Marvel, she'll move up in my book. But I wasn't a real big fan of her in Kong Skull Island.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I liked the movie, but I didn't like her in it. It kind of annoyed me.
Yeah. Okay.
So, all right, Mike. Well, we keep rambling. So go ahead. Get us out of here.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody, and catch our next pod.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.